Now, if you are looking for a college which is still open, or which is open and accepting applications for January intake and of course May intake of 2024, remember I said there are 3 intakes for colleges. Try to check Niagara College. All right, I'm going to put the name somewhere here. Check this college and pay attention to the programs that are open. Not all programs are open. Please check those programs which are open. And again, remember there is an application fee you have to pay. And as you are doing the admissions, please pay attention to tuition fee. I would like to say that if you must make an application, remember there are 3 intakes in Canada for colleges. Universities, not the same. Colleges. Now, you have the September intake, you have the January intake, and you have the May intake. That's to say September 2023, January 2024, May 2024, and the cycle goes like that. Now, remember, not all the schools charge the same tuition fee. Remember, not all the schools same admission procedures. Remember that even though you are looking, not all schools have the same requirements. I always emphasize on DLI number. As an international student who wants to study in Canada, you should understand that there are a lot of documents you need to prove. Remember one thing, you will not be there to defend yourself like at the case or in the case of an American visa. All right, because if you want to apply for an American visa, you have to go to the embassy and meet with the visa official face to face. But with a Canada case, you are only going to do your application online, and that is all. Now, if you want to apply for a study permit to Canada, there are a list of documents you need to supply. You yourself will supply some, while the people sponsoring you will supply some. The only case you can be exempted from these documents I'm going to list to you now is if you are going to be the sponsor sponsoring yourself. Remember, I've always said that you can sponsor yourself, your parents can sponsor you, your siblings can sponsor you. Your siblings here, I mean your brother and sister, and your father or mother, and yourself. Now, if you are going to be sponsored by any of this category and not yourself, then there are some documents you need to supply to them. All right, you need to supply from them, not to them, from them. They need to give you some documents and you attach to your visa application to make your approval easy. The very first one, if the person giving you the bank statement should give you an identity card. All right, his or her identity card. It's very, very important for your study permit to be approved. Now, one thing I want to say here again is that the account balances must be great. All right, and the second document the person should give you, I'm looking at my jotter here, guys, so I don't forget anything. All right, the second document the person should give you is reference letter, or a reference letter to explain that I gave this person maybe I'm going to be his sponsor and stuff like that. You understand? You can check sample of reference letters on Google. You are going to find them. Now, aside the attestation, or let's say aside the reference letter, you equally need to take attestation of bank account, or attestation of an account, or account. I don't know how it's called in other countries, but in my own country it is called attestation of account. You take it from the sponsor of yours. This is in the case where the sponsor is going to give you a bank statement. Remember I said visa is a case by case something. All right, so you are going to be showing documents based on who is sponsoring and what the person gave you. Now, there is also another document called a letter of sponsorship. All right, your sponsor needs to give you a letter of sponsorship to show that I am going to be in charge of this person with passport number, this is going to be studying at this university in the US or at this university in Canada, and I am going to be the one to sponsor their education. All right, that is in the case you are not the sponsor. Your sponsor is the one in charge to do everything. All right, and there are a lot of other documents your sponsor needs to provide, how he gets his money and stuff like that. I'm going to be talking about that in this video. You equally need a letter called affidavit of support. Of course, letter of sponsorship is different from affidavit of support, so every document has its format. You have to check that. All right, this affidavit of support is going to be like, I actually am supporting this person of this because of he is going to apply and of course study in Canada in the months to come, so I am in support of that is the meaning of affidavit of support. All right, there are samples all over the internet, so you can equally check a sample and make a decision from there. It's very important. Then if he has a business, let him equally show his business registration documents and tax documents to prove that he pays tax, and every other document that aligns with the business. And why not even taking a photo of himself? It will speak volume. Again, they will have more confidence again, because these are some of the documents. They are not all the documents, but I think these are the important ones I should mention here so that you understand where you are going to. Now, after you've gotten all of these documents, all right, I don't know if there is anything left, but if I remember, I will bring it back. Okay, now after you've gotten all these documents, you still need to show documents for yourself. All right, yes, you still need to show documents that are coming from you. It's very, very important. And in this case, of course, your passport, your ID, they are very important documents. You must not show your ID anyways. I know you need to show just the passport when you get to the embassy. And of course, remember that anything that doesn't concern the embassy and you is not really important. For example, someone was telling me that, Milton, I applied already, can I go with a credit union account? Guys, a credit union is not a bank. It is a microfinance. Don't use it. There is nothing like credit union statement. There is a bank statement. I hope you understand. If you are going to be applying for the study permit, make sure you follow this video and other videos. Make sure you watch the videos, because it is a case by case issue. You are person A and there is another person called person B. You may not have the same requirements. Please, it's very important. Now, if the person is giving you their details, they already gave you, now it's time for you to submit your own. Do you work? If yes, show your pay slips. All right, if you have your pay slips, you will scan the first 4 months to 6 months, but I always say 4 months or 6 months because I know why I'm saying so. Then their bank statement as well, or your bank statement, it's very, very important. This is now in the case of you. Then you equally have the police character. Police character, you are going to go to the police station and tell them to give you the police character. Most of the time, I don't know if you take it from the court. The police character is very important. All right, it's very, very important. And of course, the offer letters from the universities are very important, or from the schools are very important, because in short, so I can always encourage somebody to take a step. All right, offer letters, police character, I already talked about that. Educational credentials like maybe your transcripts, your past education, your present education, and stuff like that. Remember, as a student moving to Canada, your program should be at least 8 months, because after 8 months you can then apply for a postgraduate work permit. This is how it is. All right, there are other documents. I talked about police character, I talked about educational certificates. Another thing you should pay attention to is the updates. All right, updates on visa application. But first, make sure all these documents are in order. If you do work as well, then but even if you work and you are not the one sponsoring yourself, but it will still be good for you to indicate. Remember, you said somewhere that you are on a study leave. In case you said you are on a study leave, then you need to show documents, proof of the study leave, and of course employment contract and documents. In fact, general documentation, that's what I mean. However, if you are not on the study leave, it's still good for you to go. All right, if you can, of course, prove the family ties and the home ties, because they are very, very important. You must be able to find means to document this. All right, family ties and home ties, I've been explaining this, and a lot of people do get rejections because of that. Now, when you get rejection, another thing I want you to know is that IRCC is very funny, guys. If you are about to get a rejection from here, all right, it will be possible that maybe another person is getting a rejection from here and another person is filling in. That is how it is. All right, when it comes to visa application, you have to pay attention to details. Attention to details are very, very important. For a college which is still open, or which is open and accepting applications for January intake and of course May intake of 2024. Remember, I said there are 3 intakes for colleges. Try to check Niagara College. All right, I'm going to put the name somewhere here. Check this college and pay attention to the programs that are open. Please check those programs which are open. And again, remember, there is an application fee you have to pay. And as you are doing the admissions, please pay attention to tuition fee. Tuition fee will range from at least 15k. Milton, I applied for my study visa, and when I was preparing to submit my passport, the visa was showing that it's under review again after I was asked to submit. Of course, things like that do happen, and in this video I'm going to tell you why it is like that. Milton, we reached the airport. Some people were refused entry because they said their visas were cancelled and stuff like that. We don't know why, what is happening. Yeah, a visa can be cancelled at the point of entry, right? Yes, a visa can be cancelled at the point of entry. If you intend to migrate to a particular country using a tourist visa, a visit visa, a student visa, a family reunion visa, or whichsoever type of visa, medical visas, all right, if you reach the point of entry and you are not able to state why you are visiting Canada, your visa will be refused. You have to be careful. Another thing is questions you answered at the airport. Now, let me tell you something. Let's say you are applying for a study permit, all right, and before you reach the airport, not even like before you reach the airport, before you are preparing to travel, right, and out of a sudden you find out your visa was refused, or maybe you arrive the border service at the airport, you notice that your visa was refused and you are not able to get tangible reasons why it was cancelled. It could be that one, because I know a lot of us, I will use a coded language here. I know say plenty of we use that doki them where they knock them for some kind place them, right? This is the result. Yes, that's the result. Maybe you use it before they were doing assessment, they didn't notice that. Then now, because they always do these things, they can do it in any format, all right? These are psychologists. Yeah, I understand we always we always but do it technically. It's not like you go and somebody is doing this thing for you. It's called white paper, and before you know, they are saying that it's white and you're telling them it's blue. No, it doesn't work that way. You will be refused. You will be refused. Yeah, that is the absolute truth. You will be refused. Now, to those people who are going for temporary visas, who are coming in with temporary visas, let's say temporary visas, you already understand the type of visas I'm talking about. Short stay visas like visit visas and all the rest, right? Of course, the visit visa, you can live in there for maximum 6 months. Even if your conference is 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 6 days, 2 weeks, it doesn't matter. You can stay for 6 months. Now you arrive the airport and the official look at your files, look at your files and said they will not give you the visa. A lot of people, there is something here I'm going to call it. It's called it starts with AS, right? If you don't know the meaning of what I'm talking about, comment in the comment section below. Someone will tell you what I'm talking about. Most of you reach the airport, instead of you to pass the immigration first and pass the airport, you already give them the impression that you are coming to hang in there. No, you are going for a conference, you are going for tourism, you are going for visit. Don't give the impression that you are going to hang in there. What I mean here is a lot of people, they go in there and they reach the airport, they are like, no, I'm coming to seek for AS. No, you don't do that. Even if your intention is to ask for AS, no problem. Go in there first. Then when you finish with whatsoever thing you came to do, all right, then you can ask for AS. Now inside, it's possible, right? You must not ask for it only at the airport or point of entry. You will ask for it in there, right? A lot of us, we have done a lot of things. Like, one person will always point the route for us. One person. Now when you reach there and maybe before you try asking for AS, they refuse your visa, they cancel your visa. You know why? Because they know that you want to come and remain in here. Yeah, it is rare, but it happens. Don't ask for AS at the airport. Go in there, finish with what you want to finish. If you now decide to remain behind, then this is the time to ask for AX. You have a mouth. Use your mouth to ask questions to people. You will see people walking, even citizens. Why not? Ask them. It's not a crime, all right? You are legal. Of course, your visa is still valid. You have 6 months to be in there. You are legal. Ask questions. Ask questions. If you are going on a study permit, all you need now to do is what? Go to your school, register. If you think that you cannot pay the tuition, this is the time now to discuss with your school and ask them for advice. They will advise you because they know you came to study. But if you are not able to pay the fees, this is where you speak to them, tell them your reasons why you will not be able to pay. I hope you understand. I'm talking like this because you know already. I cannot just say certain things. How you go about all this application stuff, it's very, very important. Then during choosing a college, let me elaborate more about this college issue. A lot of students, they have issues here selecting. When you are selecting a college, right, there are provinces in Canada. List all the provinces down. Then you go to Google, list of community colleges in Ontario. They will come out. You look at them, you look at their requirements. Do they have DLI numbers? If fine, you check their tuition fee. How is their tuition deposit? How much are you going to pay after admissions? How much do you need to pay before visa? After you look at all of these things, this is the time now for you to do what? Launch an application. If you want to study in New Brunswick, list of community colleges in New Brunswick. You do the same thing. If you want to study in Nova Scotia, list of community courses in Nova Scotia. If you want to study in British Columbia, list of community colleges in British Columbia. Manitoba, same thing. All right, this is how. Alberta, Calgary, same thing. This is how you go about the search to make it easy for you. Or if you want to go to state universities, list of universities in Calgary, list of universities in Ontario or Toronto. All right, one is province and one is a city. Please don't get confused. Always type the province. Okay, it's very, very important.